Hi yogis, welcome to a 30-minute grounding flow. So you'll want to have one item of support. A block works great, or it could be a blanket that you could fold up. You might also want an additional blanket to put underneath the knees. We're going to spend some time in this grounding practice on our knees, and so if the surface on which you're working is just a little too hard, grab some extra support. When you're ready, meet me in child's pose. So the big toes come together and the knees draw wide and the heart sways forward. Right away, tuning into the rhythm of your breath. Offering longer inhales and slower exhales. Feeling the density and the weight of your hip bones as you just allow gravity to do the work. Feeling your rootedness through the legs, the hips. You might start to inch the fingertips a little further forward, offering length to your side bodies. And with that sense of rootedness in the legs, the hips, the trunk of the body, as you continue to find fuller inhales, allow a sense of buoyancy to take over the lungs, to surround the heart space. Notice if there are any areas of the body that you're holding up here that you just need not, allowing full and complete surrender. And that can be so subtle. Be in the furrow of your brow or the jaw. It might be in your inner dialogue. Is there anything that you can let go here? Let rest here. Begin to build into a cadence of breath that is nourishing, fulfilling, and yet sustainable. A breath that you can carry forward into the rest of your day. Take a few rounds of that breath here. One more breath. And press yourself up to all fours. Walk the knees underneath the hips and find a few rounds of cat and cow. Pairing your breath with your movements. Allow the tailbone to initiate the movement so you find the full undulation available within the spine. Take just one more round. Come back to neutral. Tuck the toes and elevate your hips for downward facing dog. Do all the things that you intuitively want to do on your arrival to down dog. It might be a pedal of the legs. You might take a moment to sway your head yes, no. When you're ready to settle into alignment, we're here for length of spine, so you're welcome to bend into the knees as much as you need to find that length. Allow the ears to rest in between the biceps so the head isn't hanging heavy nor cranking up. There's a sense of push and pull as you press into the palms and lift through the front sheath of the body, but send energy down through the heels on the back sheath of your body. Take another breath in here. And shift forward to a high plank. You're always welcome to lower to the knees here. We're still pressing firmly into the palms this time so we can inflate the shoulder wings. We're lifting the kneecaps to fire up our legs, our trunk. Shift slightly forward and lower all the way to the belly. Flip to the tops of your feet. Release the finger pads to the outside of your mat fluid cobra. Inhale, lift the rib cage, lift the heart. Exhale, release the heart down. Continue like that. Inhale to rise. And exhale to nuts. And just one more. Press into the palms and find your restorative child's pose. Button the knees together, sweep the arms to your sides, and allow the crown of the head to hang heavy, the shoulders hang heavy. With your inhale, we'll roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, sending the palms back behind you as kickstands as you roll your heart to the sky. Broaden through the collarbones, lift your gaze. Now shift forward to downward facing dog. And we'll send our right leg high, bend into the knee and find some big, wide, juicy circles. There's no right or wrong to this, just some freedom in your hip. Sending your right leg high, step the foot through. Lower to the left knee, flip to the top of the foot, and sweep the arms up for Anjaneyasana. Settling your weight into the hips, but not at the expense of the low back. So we're lifting through the sternum, and so there's a string tied to the heart, pulling it up. Softening the shoulders, even though you're active through the forearms and the fingertips. Take one more breath in here. And release the palms down to frame the right foot. Kickstand your left foot over to the right side of your mat. Walk the right foot more towards the center of your mat and open up to a modified warrior two. Modified warrior two. So we want to make sure that our right knee tracks forward over second and third toe. We're sending the shoulders back in space. And you might even check in with the shoulders as you float the palms up. Feel how the shoulders rest down the backside. That's the essence that we want. And then we turn the palms back down. You're welcome to slide that blanket underneath the knees if you want that added cushion and you haven't already. And now we're going to hold the legs exactly as they are and send our right arm high, left arm down the back body as though we're reversing our warrior. Still in this modified lunge, this more supported, grounded shape. We're lifting through the left waist to avoid collapse. Take a breath in. Now windmill the palms down to frame the right foot. Tuck the back toes and float the left knee up. Low lunge. Really root down through the whole of your right foot as you walk the fingertips forward and float your left leg up, standing splits. You're welcome to use the support of a prop underneath of you here. We're still bending into the right knee as much as we need to, allowing the head to hang heavy. Our first exploration of the hamstrings. And then go ahead and release the left foot down to meet the right and find your chair pose. Sit low, arms sweep up. Ground down through the heels and the big toes, but remain relatively light in the ball mound of your foot. Allow natural curvature of the low back, like there's a C shape in the low back. Take a breath in. Exhale, airplane arms, sweep the arms back, tether the heart forward. We're going to root down firmly through the left foot and inhale the right knee high. One leg Tadasana. And then as though you're just floating through warrior three, go ahead and step the right foot back and open up to warrior two. So warrior two, full warrior two on the left. We want to squeeze the heels in until we feel that lift of the inner thighs. We're driving our right shoulder back in space. Just like in that modified warrior two, we want the front knee tracking forward over second and third toe. And we'll reverse our warrior. Left arm is high, right arm slides down the back body. Lift through the side seams of the body. Avoid collapse in the right shoulder, right waist. Take a breath in. Windmill the palms down to frame the left foot and press to downward facing dog. Drop down to the knees, restorative child's pose. Arms sweep to your sides. Crown of the head hangs heavy. Rest and restore well. With your inhale, begin to lift through the chest. Fingertips back behind you. Roll your heart to the sky. Broaden the collarbones. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Collect your breath. Send your left leg high, bend into the knee, big, wide, juicy circles. Send your left leg high, step the foot through. Lower to the right knee, flip to the top of the foot, sweep the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Scissor kick the inner thighs so there's a lift to the pelvic floor. We know that the low back is supported. One more breath here. Release the palms down to frame the left foot. Kickstand the right foot over to the left side of your mat. Wiggle the left foot more towards the center of the mat and then open up to modified warrior two, grounded warrior two, let's call it. So left knee tracks forward. We've already been in that full warrior two on this left side. Shoulders soften. Lift through the sternum. You've still got that string tethered to the heart. And reverse your warrior. Left arm is high, right arm slides down the right side seam. Take a breath in. Now windmill the palms down to frame the left foot, swivel to the ball mound of the right foot for your low lunge. Find your rooting, your support system through that left foot, walk the fingertips forward, and send your right leg to the sky. Bend into the left knee as much as you need to, and keep trying to square your right hip down. And then place the right foot next to the left and sit into your chair pose. Take a few breaths here as you find your structure, your support. And then we root down through our right foot, sending the arms back for airplane arms, gathering our breath as we float the left knee high. And we're just floating through Warrior 3 as we step the foot back and open up to Warrior 2, full Warrior 2. Take the time to find your alignment. There's no rush here. Pressing firmly into the knife edge of the left foot until you feel the arch of the foot lift. Stacking right knee directly on top of right ankle and no further. And it's the strength of the outer seam of that left leg, engaging into the whole of the left leg as we reverse our warrior. Keep lifting through the left waist, take a breath in. Windmill your palms down to frame the right foot and find downward facing dog. Drop to your knees, restorative child's pose, rest well. Inhale as you start to roll the chest towards the sky. You might start to float your hips up here. That feels reasonable. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Collect your breath. We're going to flow through one more time with a little more fluidity, a little quicker pace. Inhale your right leg high. Step the foot through. Lower to the left knee, flip to the top of the foot, Anjaneyasana, inhale. Release the palms down to frame the right foot. Kickstand the left foot over to the right side of your mat and open up to modified warrior 2. Reverse your warrior. Windmill the palms down to frame the right foot and swivel to the ball mound of the left foot. Ground down to the right foot, walk the fingertips forward and find your standing splits. Left foot comes to meet the right as you sit low into your chair. Airplane arms sit a little lower. Find your rooting through the left foot, inhale, right knee lifts. And we're just gonna float back into warrior 2. Take your time to settle into the alignment that you need if you didn't land quite how you wanted. And then reverse your warrior. Now windmill the palms down for downward facing dog. Take a breath. Drop to the knees, restorative child's pose. Inhale, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, palms back behind you. It's up to you if you want to float the hips up as well. And then drop those hips down and find downward facing dog. Full breath cycle here. Left leg is high. Step the foot through. Lower to the right knee, Anjaneyasana. Release the palms to frame the left foot. Kickstand right foot over to the left. Center the left foot and open up to a modified warrior 2, grounded warrior 2. Now reverse that warrior. Swivel the palms down to frame the left foot. Come to the ball mound of the right foot. Really root down through that left foot and send your right leg to the sky. Release the right foot down and find chair pose. And airplane arms. Your inhale carries the left knee up so that you can float back into warrior 2. Take the time to find the alignment that serves you best and reverse your warrior. Windmill the palms down for downward facing dog. Drop to the knees, restorative child's pose. Start to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, palms back behind you, heart to the sky, maybe the hips float up. And then back to your seat. Palms face up. You're welcome to send support underneath the sit bones if this is too much sensation for the feet. Take a moment to collect your breath. Slow down your exhales to slow down your heart rate if needed. The eyes open. And shift forward to downward facing dog. Send your right leg high. And step the right foot to the outside of the palms. Lower the left knee down. So it's like you're in lizard lunge, but again, we're going to kickstand the left foot over to the right. Walk your palms over to the left and start to stir those hips around. Can't do this wrong. We're just lubricating the hip, warming up for a deeper release. And then walk those palms back to center. Send the left leg back behind you. We're going to start to walk the right foot over to the left side of our mat so that we can settle into our half pigeon. Now you're welcome to slide your item of support underneath the right hip, the chest, or the forehead. You might focus on sending your shin bone a little more parallel with the top of the mat if that seems accessible today. The back toes are straight, the front toes are flexed to support our ankle and knee joint. If you choose to hinge from the hips, you might find support. As we start to find longer holds, deeper release, if you find that the mind is wandering away from the practice, choose an anchor. And that anchor could be your breath, it might be the music that you're playing, it might be a mantra. Whatever it is, whatever is intuitively your anchor, let that placate the nervous system. Let that be the guide into stillness. A few more rounds of breath. Go ahead and press back up to the palms if you aren't already there. Tuck the back toes, send your right leg high, open the hips, scorpion pose. Come back to downward facing dog. Send your left leg high and step the foot to the outside of your palms. Lower the right knee down. Kickstand the right foot over to the left side of your mat. Now walk the palms over to the right and stir the hips around. Walk the palms back to center, send the right leg back behind you, and start to inch the left foot over to the right side of your mat. So it's good every now and again to enter these familiar shapes in a new way for our body, right? And so check in with what this side of the body needs. Maybe it's support underneath the hip. Maybe it's remaining up on the palms. Maybe it's lowering down. And it doesn't have to happen all at once. You've got time here, time to arrive and settle in. Returning to your anchor and then offering a sense of surrender to the rest of the body. Notice if you can soften the muscles of your face. You might soften the cadence of your breath. With your next breath in, go ahead and press into the palms. Tuck the back toes, elevate the left leg into scorpion pose. Come back to downward facing dog. Gaze forward and step all the way through to a seat. Grab your item of support and anything else that you think you may want and come on down to your back side. Soles of the feet are wide, knees knock in. Feel that grounding support of the sacrum. And again, allow the hips to be heavy. Feel your rootedness there. And with that sense of rootedness, with that sense of support, allow expansion and buoyancy to the space around the heart as you breathe in. And on your exhales, actively press the back of the heart into the earth beneath you. Couple more rounds. Hug the knees in and start to stir them around. Enjoy a low back massage. And then pull the knees wide as the sacrum broadens. Send the legs long and the arms up overhead. We're going to find a grounded tree pose. So normally a part of our balancing series. We're going to find it here down on our backs. So begin by reaching the fingertips far away from the toe tips. Reach, reach, reach. And then like you're moving into banana pose, walk the fingertips over to the right and the feet over to the right. You can cross the left ankle on top of the right for this first expression. And you might reach for opposite wrists or elbows if that feels reasonable. But we want to make sure that the left shoulder and the left hip stay glued to the mat. And we're going to simply uncross the ankles. Start to slide the sole of the right foot either to the left ankle, the calf, or maybe a little further up to the inner thigh. You're welcome to slide support underneath the right thigh if this is too much sensation. So we still have that length in the left waist and side body, so you're arching, your crescent moon. The element of our balancing tree pose on the right side. Take one more breath. And then come onto your back and hug the knees in. Stir them around. And find that full body stretch. Legs are long, arms up overhead. Start to walk the feet over to the left, the palms to the left. You might choose to cross right ankle on top of the left for this first expression of this shape. Might choose to reach for opposite wrists or elbows. But if binding the palms means that the right shoulder needs to lift, then we just bring it down a notch. We don't want to compromise that. Then go ahead and uncross the ankles and slide the sole of the left foot either to the right ankle, calf, or inner thigh. You might slide support underneath the left thigh. Continue to find the arch in the right side body, that length. And then go ahead and make your way onto your back and hug your knees in and stir them around. You can pull those knees wide. And then bring the soles of the feet to the mat so the feet are wide and the knees knock in. We're going to cross our right arm across the chest and then hook the left elbow on top of it to hold it in place and stretch the right shoulder wing. Go ahead and switch sides. Left arm across the chest. Right elbow acts as a hinge, as a hook. And then release the arms in cactus the arms so the forearms come to frame the face. Let the shoulders, the upper arms, the forearms all lie really heavy. You might even imagine that there's a sandbag placed in each palm, weighing them down. Keep the arms as they are and find Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees open wide. You're always welcome to slight support under the thighs. Start to extend the arms out wide like wings. And float your shin bones up to reverse tabletop. Cross your right thigh on top of the left and then let the heels drop down towards your sit bones. Reach for whatever you can. So that could be the outer edges of your feet, your shins, your knees. Reach for whatever you can. Hug it in tight. Squeeze it in tight. And then open up to happy baby. Reach for the outer edges of your feet, or you could hook the inseams of your elbows and knees. You gently rock side to side. And back to that reverse tabletop. This time, send the left thigh on top of the right and let the feet drop down. Reach for whatever you can. It might look different on this side. Hug it in tight. Squeeze it in. And then open up to happy baby. And find one final ball of compression, forehead to the knees, squeeze the fingers, the toes, the face, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Shavasana. Take the time to make it just right. And especially with a grounding practice, you might choose to roll to your side or your belly, cover yourself with a blanket. Fall season offers us permission to turn inward, to slow down, to follow nature's rhythm of shedding our skin. Take a moment to shed a layer of something that's just not serving you, something that you just need not carry forward into this next season. Let it come to you intuitively. Having let that go and created space for what you want to cultivate in this next season of life. And we'll move into that cultivation and that embodiment in the rest of our practices. So for now, just rest easy in the knowing that you've created that space, that you've offered and opened up to that. Stay here in Shavasana as long as the body desires. Take your time to reawaken. This practice is yours. Rest well in it. Namaste.